Lessons 1.33 and 1.34 involve the presentation of new vocabulary. And this new vocabulary deals exclusively with nouns, and they're nouns which primarily involve the school environment. When you enter lesson 1.33, you'll be first of all presented with a very extensive review of all of the nouns that you've learned up to this point. And then you'll move into a presentation of new vocabulary. You'll be called upon to place that new vocabulary in complete sentences. Now, these sentences involve all of the structures that you've learned up to this point. Affirmative statements, negative statements, sentences with two verbs in them, both affirmative and negative in nature, both kinds of questions that you've learned up to this point, again, both affirmative and negative. So this lesson involves not just a presentation of new vocabulary, but a good review of sentence structure as well. As you start to form these complete sentences, you will be challenged invariably, as always is the case, and as I've talked about in past lessons, with the selection of the proper preposition. Know that the choice of the proper preposition to conclude your idea is not the primary emphasis of this lesson. And so don't let it trouble you too much if you can't, in every case, come up with exactly the right preposition, the one which I am proposing to you as you listen to the answers. The prepositions, which, by the way, will be found right before the noun that completes the sentence. Many of them you have been exposed to, and you likely will be able to come up with the correct one. But I can think of a couple of instances. For example, there's a sentence which talks about, I guess it says, doesn't she look through the window? And as you come to the word through, it'll be a word which you've not been exposed to up to this point. The first time you go through the sentence formation activity, you'll be called upon simply to listen. And then the second time to actually produce the sentence yourself before you click and see if you're correct or not. So as you're listening and you come upon this new preposition, this new word, you should be able to, by process of elimination, determine approximately what it means. The idea, doesn't she look through the window? What else can you do? Can you look at a window? Well, not really. Invariably, you look through it when you look at it. Can you look around the window? I suppose you could, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. And so hopefully you'll be able to discern the sense of prepositions which are new to you. However, again, they're not the primary focus of the lesson. Be most concerned with getting the verb in its proper form, words in their proper order, and retaining this new vocabulary word, the proper noun, and in the masculine, or using the masculine or the feminine article as is appropriate. Once you get into lesson 1.34, it will be involved not so much with the formation of sentences as it is with interaction, communication between you and me, or between you and the lesson, as the lesson asks questions of you. Remember, if your goal is to attain fluency in this language, then you need to expand upon your answers. If the question asks you, do you have a computer? Go beyond to simply asking yes or answering yes or no and saying, yes, I have a computer. Say, yes, I have a computer. On my desk, that's one of the vocabulary words from this lesson, and all of these are as well. I have a computer, a monitor, a mouse, a keyboard, speakers, and a printer. In other words, all of these different nouns right there are nouns which are presented to you in the course of this lesson. And so always seek to go beyond and expand on your responses, because your desire is to speak as much as possible so that the use of this new language will be as comfortable for you as possible. So you'll gain confidence in its use. You should, as you listen to yourself, expanding in your responses and responding at length to the questions asked of you. You should have a certain amount of pride in that which you've learned, that which you've accomplished. I hope that will indeed be the case, and that will serve as a motivation for you to become more and more at ease with the use of this language. So don't just answer yes or no. Don't just answer, yes, I have a computer. Go beyond and tell me all the details. Well, I'll see you at the beginning of our next class. Time for you to go to it. Lesson 1.33, review old vocabulary and plunge into new. See you soon.